Hi guys, if you're watching us on the replay, give us a high five in the comments. And here we are, Gamadi and Nina from our workshop on lucid dreaming live. Gamadian is going to give us a little talk and a lot of guidance on how we all can lucid dream tonight. So intend it. Remember to set up your intentions, and we will see you in your dreams, hopefully. So remember to comment yes below. Hi Oriana, hi guys. Wow, we have such a big crowd here. Jennifer, oh, welcome guys and girls. Amazing dreamers. So comment, and Trikar is here. Oh, hi guys. So comment yes in the comments below if you want us to send you our lucid dreaming tips, in which you can do a Gamadian's guided meditation on lucid dreaming. I think we're gonna jump straight into it, because we have some really eager dreamers here live who are excited to hear and learn how to lucid dream better and better. So next you're going to hear from Gamadian.
Welcome to Lucid in London. We're a bit out of breath. We've been fooling around, dancing, and doing movements which intend lucid dreaming. How do you feel, guys?
Great.
Or girls, as it is tonight. There's a big female presence, both online and in the room. And these movements are designed to move energy. We start with the physical. The physical is our vehicle for awareness. When we start with the physical, then we can enter in to the more subtle energies. When we're engaged in doing something, then the mind is a lot more focused. So, how's your lucid dreaming? Because the first thing we need to do is to set the environment for lucid dreaming. And of course, we can start by building a momentum. Watch some lucid dreaming films, read some books. The Monroe Institute is great, and LaBerge, this is somebody else that came from a scientific perspective. And my favourite introduction to lucid dreaming is The Art of Dreaming by Carlos Castaneda. A powerful body of work about moving perception. So we can set the environment by intending it, and intend it like a child intends it, like a child that wants an ice cream. This child is going to get an ice cream. Whatever happens, that child will get an ice cream. And if we have this childlike energy, if we don't obsess about it, when we fall over as a child, then we pick ourselves up. We all got to walking, not because we were perfect at it to start with, but we were willing to make mistakes. We were willing to fall over. We were willing to pick ourselves up. In actual fact, today I've had some ceremonial cacao, as had Ina. And I've found that when I take ceremonial cacao, then I always lucid dream. So I recommend, we put on ceremonies with cacao, and they intend expanding awareness, opening to heart awareness. Also, I've had some B6 today. I've got an intent to lucid dream tonight. I've also taken a B vitamin, B100. In functional medicine, they tell us that a healthy brain dreams and remembers at least one dream a night. So their intent through various methods is to get their patients to remember a dream every night. That is their criteria, or one criteria for brain health. And this recommendation came from a functional medicine doctor, that the functions of the brain were improved with these B vitamins. And they suggest that the B6 is taken in a form of P5P. And when we take something to lucid dream, it empowers it. If we do any action with intent, it empowers it. Another thing we can do is keep a dream journal. And again, if we go out and choose exactly the right book, or these days exactly the right app. I do a lucid dreaming talk, and for my research I tried a lot of these apps. I haven't actually settled on one, but they're free, and a lot of them are connected to a database. So when you're writing your dreams, it's anonymous, but the information is going to a database, and so they're building up information on dreamers, which you might like to lend your energy to. I like a book and a pen, but again, these apps you can just record and just record the few details, and often we remember our dream when we wake up, but if we go to the loo or come out and make a cup of tea, by the time we get back, then we've forgotten the dream. What is very important is our sleeping position. And what it suggested is that we're in this child pose. For men, they're resting on their left forearm, they're looking to the left, and the left leg is bent. And for females, it's exactly the opposite. Thank you for demonstrating, Ina. They missed that on camera. But for females, they're looking to the right. And once we get used to this position, we can use it in dreaming. If a very powerful practice in lucid dreaming is to go to sleep in a dream and wake up into another dream. This is and quite often the dream you wake up into is an energetic dream. The thing is that our dreams, where do they come from? Why do we dream? Just as when we go to sleep, it rests the body. And so for the first 4 hours, the body's needs are being taken care of. Still, we're going through these circadian rhythms, these waves, so that we go from awake down into half sleep, deep sleep, and up into this REM sleep when there's this rapid eye movement. And these are the states that we want to take aware advantage of. I'm going to give you some Kalea Zakatachichi. This is a Mexican dream herb, and also, what are we going to use to enhance memory?
We could use Brahmi.
We're going to use an Indian herb, Brahmi, or rosemary we sometimes use. Galantamine is a modern form of the red spider lily. These things all improve brain functions. And of course, cacao does, which is one of the reasons why after taking raw, organic, especially wild ceremonial cacao, then these higher functions of the body are awoken. When we enter into dreaming, especially in these later parts of the night, we have more REM sleep, and the brain is replaying itself quite often. It's looking at what we've been through, how we solved it, how we didn't solve it, how we can solve it in new ways. And it's fueled by our emotions, our feelings. We're in this world of thought and emotion. But our dreams hold a hatchway into a lot of other energetic worlds. All of us know that we've had dreams where we come back, we wake up in the morning, we're so full of power, we're so full of energy, we're so inspired, we're so open, we're so creative. They really fuel our daily world. And we want to make this bridge between the two worlds. If the world of dreaming is also the world of death, it's also the world of spirit, it's also the world of archetypes, of the gods, everything that's invisible to us. And of course our thoughts and our emotions, our feelings are also invisible to us. And our little psyche has a hatchway into the universe, into the energy, the spirit of the universe. And beings in those realms understand that all life forms have this hatchway, their personal awareness and this macrocosm of their microcosm. And this is one of the things with being in a particular position, that it makes us lucid for longer, it makes us go deeper into dreaming, and it makes us have the opportunity to get out of our own psyche, which is the first dream. We go to sleep in our dream, we wake up, and we wake up into an energetic reality. What is reality? The reality is an agreement. This is an arbitrary agreement. We perceive the world, what we call reality, we perceive it because we were introduced to it by our parents. Our parents knew the doings of a room, they knew the floor was at the bottom, the ceiling was at the top, it had a purpose, either to sleep in it, to cook in it, to eat in, to all these different functions, and they taught us these things. So we are actually configuring energy in a learned way. There are many different ways of configuring energy, and when there's an energetic mass of agreement, then these become realities that we can shift to. We were earlier doing movements, grabbing energy from behind and bringing it from the back, from the darkness of our awareness into our conscious awareness. And perception, we were told that it was moored in a tennis ball sized glow at the back of our luminous bubble of awareness. And here, the fibers of the universe met the fibers of the luminous sphere and lit them up, so that here perception was assembled. And so it's called the assemblage point. We get very fixed assembling this world. We've got a whole right side, linear side, that tells us all these facts about this world, and we get stuck in it. What is dreaming? It's being more expansive. If we order this right side of ourselves, then we build the energy and the trust to open up to this other part of ourselves, this expansive part of ourselves, this abstract part of ourselves. And this is dreaming. And this is why to enter into dreaming, then ordering our psyche really assists us. Knowing how we show up in the world. Most of the work, monks are famous for their disciplined lives, and Tibetan monks are probably the best dreamers on the planet, and they have a similar process of mining of going into that left side awareness and bringing it out into their daily life. Also, having practices for this right side. You'll find them drawing and painting. You'll find them doing calligraphy. You'll find them visualizing. They'll do a practice for left side awareness. They've seen paintings of the Buddhas, of the Apsaras, the different energetic beings, and they visualize them. And then back in the right side awareness, they copy them and they paint them.
So you mean they bring them from dreaming? Well,
they have been brought from dreaming, but I mean, if we go on YouTube, we can see pictures of all of Avalokiteshvara, all of these different beings, these archetypes of energy. And whether it's Jung, whether it's the Tibetan Buddhist entities, whether it's the Hindu gods or the South American shamanic dream creatures, these all represent a mirror. And between those energies and our perception of them, we have created forms. And these forms are common to all dreamers. And especially if you dream in a country. I did a Facebook Live here the other day about a dream of mine where I was taken away by a Hindu god. And I was it happened in a power place that is famous with that god. This god in mythology has fallen to earth here. And I connected through dreaming with that experience. In South America, I connected with this Quetzalcoatl form, this dragon form. The energies of the earth, of the water, the fire, space, air, they have distinctive characteristics in places. And there is this whole dream landscape, this agreement of reality, of meeting these beings, seeing them in a certain form.
Gamadian, sorry to interrupt you. Ghost, if you have any questions, just bring them up, yeah? And don't be shy because we're live. Okay. And also everyone watching, if they have any questions later, maybe they can ask one question.
Yeah.
Who is the god who fell to earth? Who's the god who fell to earth?
Shiva. He took poison and he kept it in his throat. This is why Shiva has this blue stain on his throat. This is the poison that would have destroyed the three worlds. So one of the most interesting practices for us, there are 7 gates of dreaming. This journey from becoming lucid to enacting the energy body in dreaming, and then to bring the energy body into this world. This is ancient sorcery, and we have these tales from mythology, and they are based on an energetic fact. In this very room I've been in, my energy body that looked to everybody like it was my physical body. One of the things we can do when we're first dreaming, you were all saying earlier that quite often you have very vivid parts of your dream and maybe near lucid or lucidity, and then you go into the dream's not so vivid, or you lose your awareness that you're...
Yes, how can we make it more solid?
One of the fundamentals, this technique of gazing at our hands came from Carlos Castaneda. It's a very popular technique. Castaneda was taught it and he introduced it to the world over 50 years ago. He introduced many things. I like to acknowledge him for them because I was having experiences when I was a teenager, and I didn't have a language, I didn't have a context for them. And when I found Castaneda, he gave me a context, he gave me a language, and he also gave me a lot of techniques I could do to solidify that experience. And so the first thing we do is command ourselves to find our hands in our dreams. Why? Because they're near to us. And we do it, again, we make a bridge from this right side awareness to left side awareness. We look at our hands in the day and ask ourselves, am I dreaming? And we can maybe try and put the two fingers through the palm and see if it goes through. You've either got very sharp fingernails or you're dreaming. So this is the bridge we make, and there are a lot of awareness exercises like that. Ina quite often sets us up. We're going to notice every yellow car when we go out. It's just a training for this right side awareness. Or we're going to notice everybody that's wearing a red jumper, or something similar. You want to choose an item that's not too common and is not too rare.
Train your attention.
Yeah.
So again, you're becoming conscious. What is lucidity? It's consciousness. What are we really? We are awareness. And this is a way of training and waking up that awareness. And so when we look at our hands, normally what happens is our hands look so strange that, and we suddenly realize, wow, I'm dreaming. You know, we've got these, they maybe look like trees, or we've maybe lost all the flesh, or something like this, and we wake up. We don't have any continuity. We in actual fact, break off this experience. So don't get too excited.
My hands always look different when I'm dreaming.
Yeah,
They're not exactly like my hands here, but always a little bit nicer.
it's very common. Mine actually quite often look like I've got less fingers, and they're like a cartoon or a pack of chipolatas. I'm dreaming. So what we're doing.
Jessica wants to say something.
What we're doing is looking at our hands, and then we're going to look at an item in the dreamscape, whatever it is, and try and flesh out wherever it is, whether it's outside or inside. We recognize it's a tree, back to the hands, or it's a bookcase if we're in a room, or a chair, and then back to the hands. So that we start to build, and it's just a quick glance. Tree, apple tree, back to the hands, back to another item, and this sustains our dreaming attention. And if we're going to use dreams for something other than just entertainment, and they are very entertaining, then we need to sustain a dream and to become very aware in the dream, as if we were in this reality. And this is very possible. As we know, many of us have vivid dreams. We don't realize we're dreaming because it's so real. And I practice a lot of techniques. We said about recognizing a red car or something, but I pick things I do in dreaming with things I do in everyday life. And for me, I'm always going through doors. I go on the tube, I'm in corridors, in hotels, in corridors. So when I go through a door, then if I intend to dream that night, then I ask myself, am I dreaming? And you can check by putting your fingers through your hands. I actually always try and levitate, or fly. Quite often you'll see me in the tube. And
Yes, he does that. Like every day.
it's London. You can do what you like. And of course, you feel foolish every time you go through this door. I'm checking if I'm dreaming, and it seems so silly. And another time you're actually you check, and suddenly, even though you know you're not dreaming, suddenly your fingers go through your hand, or you start levitating off the ground and the whole dream starts changing. You realize, wow, who'd have thought it? You know, I've been tricked again. And the mind is very tricky. The mind is very tricky. And so all types of training can enhance our awareness. There is a level of discipline which really suits us. I know on Facebook people, I've been trying to lucid dream for a week. Why hasn't it happened? We're talking about powerful siddhis, but now is the time to lucid dream. There are many lineages that have been lucid dreaming for thousands of years, and they've been husbanding this energy so that average people have the opportunity to go into these states of awareness that were reserved for shamans, for yogis, and for tantrics, for Sufis, another body of work that works with dreams in powerful ways.
So,
But,
yeah.
I had my first lucid dream about 10 days ago. After 15 years.
Wow.
did everyone hear that? After 15 years of intending dreaming and working towards it, 10 days ago Jessica had a lucid dream, and it wasn't only a lucid dream. When she realized she was dreaming, she was able to intend herself across to another continent where her daughter was. We're back.
No, it's okay.
This was a glitch in
The matrix.
yes. Yes.
I was trying to reconnect, and I feel like we initiated something. But what was so charming about it was the way that it happened. Two things were remarkable. It was my flatmate who showed up in my dream, and he's incredibly selective about how he dresses, and he has impeccable taste, and he's quite rigid about these things. And in my dream, he showed up with necklaces dangling all over him and 50 rings on his hands. And I said, Justin, trim your hands. And he showed me, and they were just laden with chiseled gold, and I thought, he would never wear a ring. This must be a dream. I'm dreaming about it.
Great.
And then what was very beautiful about it was that I had help.
Help? What do you mean?
That night, I had said to a friend of mine, you can sleep on the end of my bed. Someone I don't know very well recently made the acquaintance of. Not literally, he was on another continent as well. But I said, come sleep on the end of my bed tonight. And that was the night I had a lucid dream. And he knew about my daughter and how very much I wanted to see her. And I woke up and I said to him, I had my first lucid dream last night. And he said, oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Wow.
It's catching lucid dreaming. Thank you, Jessica. I don't know if you heard that online, but it was a really good story, and I appreciate it. So we were saying about looking at our hands and looking at objects in the dream.
I think you're frozen. Ah, there you go.
I'm moving on here, Ina.
Yeah, I'm working back.
So we were talking about solidifying the dream by looking at our hands, by doing an activity, looking at another object and looking at our hands. And one of the purposes of doing this is not only to solidify the dream, but to recognize incongruous objects in the dreamscape. I was in a library one time. I often tell this story. And in this library, I'm connecting with my hands, and I'm connecting with the objects in the library, the people in the library, the desks, the bookshelves, and in the middle of the library was this huge ice cream cone, and just standing there. And of course it was a very incongruous object. And we have a technique to get objects to reveal themselves. One of the ways is to point your little finger at it with intent. And when you do this, our dreams are mostly, as we said, projections of our thoughts, our emotions, what's current for us at the moment. And these just disappear. But energetic activity in your dream changes in a minute and reveals itself and reveals its purpose for being there. And we are very interesting to beings that live in the spirit world. They like to mix energy with us. Spirits are yin. We have this very yang part to us, this very physical part to us. And so we're very interesting to them. And mostly they then offer to take you on a journey into your psyche and into the psyche of the universe. Or maybe they'll, I had a lot of wishes. When I was a teenager, there were many rock concerts I didn't go to. I didn't go to the Isle of Wight, I didn't go to Bath. And these beings know what your deepest desire is. And obviously for me, it was going to the Bath Festival and going to the Isle of Wight, because when I was showing up with inorganic beings, and these are some of the first things that they granted me. And of course, I had a star ticket. I was backstage. I was meeting these beings. So this is an aspect of dreaming when you get out of your own awareness and you meet these beings, and often these beings are very wise. If you can bring your awareness to questioning them, then they can answer your questions. And
what if you're a bit scared? In the beginning, I was very scared, and I was thinking, oh, what's going to happen now? And then that in itself would just catapult me out of my dream.
I mean, a measure of fear is good. It wakes you up. It makes you alert.
But should we be afraid or not?
Be afraid, but act anyway. This
Like
is, yeah, exactly.
Like in life, it's an incredible opportunity. I didn't feel afraid. I was just like jubilant. I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
Take me to my daughter. I'm dreaming. I ran out of the room I was in and I was shouting, I'm dreaming, I can go anywhere. Take me to my daughter.
But
Did you set that intent then? Did you want that from the dream?
That was inside the dream.
Inside the dream, I realised I was dreaming, and because I realised I was dreaming, while I was in the dream, I was able to take charge of the dream and do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And the thing I wanted was to see my daughter. So the second I realised I was dreaming, I said in the dream, out loud, I'm dreaming, I can do anything I want.
Yeah.
Take me to see my
Yeah,
daughter.
she said out loud, I'm dreaming, I can do anything I want. And that's what I really want to do every time.
Right. And I was running down a dirt track in Morocco, and the ground under my feet just changed to a paved alley in Long Island as I was running. I wasn't sure if I could make it happen,
Yeah.
And within a few yards, I was running on asphalt, and I looked at the end of the street, and there was my daughter, dressed in pink, and there was someone with her, and I ignored them because I didn't know how long I had.
Yeah.
And I just, made contact with her. Vision, I can't touch.
I mean, there are endless possibilities in any moment.
Yeah.
There's a wave of probability. We've all been watching, listening to quantum physicists with this wave of energy and particles of energy, the abstract and the specific, and so we can shift energy. And so when we shift energy within us, we shift our world view. I mean, in dreaming, I've been to some Buddhist heavens, and of course they've got guardians on the outside, and these immense beings, you know, with weapons and you know, animal faces, and of course they haven't let me in. I mean, and they've knocked me across the universe, swatted me like a fly. I mean,
is there a way to go through them, do you think?
definitely, when you're ready, the door's open. You know, I've always been precocious.
Cool.
Do you set an intention before you go to think about what you want to... Does that help if you've got
Definitely, if you set your intent, it helps. And dreamers often do intend to meet in particular places. We used to meet in a park and do movements for dreaming, do meditations for dreaming, and we used to have as our intent that when we were awake in dreaming, we go there and meet each other, and then the next day we check to see if it happened and what our experience of the dream was. And it is a fascinating part of dreaming, and many people concur that this experience happens to them. And you know, there are many states, like I went to a lecture by one of the CIA who viewing program, and he trained people and got people that were very susceptible to move in their perception, and they were spying around the world with this remote view. It was very pragmatic. They used dreaming for, usually my intents are not so concrete, they're quite abstract. But dreams can be configured in many ways. I mean, meeting spirit beings and asking them where treasure is buried is part of our mythology. All of these stories from the Arab world, from the Sufi world, these fairy tales that have come into Western consciousness, they often have these, you rub the lamp and you get information that is very useful for, and this is at the base of shamanism, that they go into these altered states and they find information that's very pragmatic for the tribe, where particular fruit trees are, where particular game is, where would be a good place to relocate to.
So what do you want them to do when we give them the herbs tonight?
So because REM sleep, you get longer periods of REM sleep later in the evening, I suggest that 4 hours after you go to sleep, you wake yourself up, set an alarm really quietly on vibrate, and then take the herbs that I give you. I think, well, there are 2 capsules of each. 2 capsules of each. One will promote your memory, and they're quite short-term acting, which is why we do it in the middle of the night. Another technique I'm going to show you in a minute to end the evening, a technique called wild. Lucid dreamers seem to love these acronyms, mild, wild, dialed, but wild is wake-induced lucid dreaming. So you enter into a hypnagogic state. You close your eyes, and this is really good if you've had a dream before. So if you wake up in your dreaming position and you don't move, if you don't move, you recall your dream, and then you can make yourself a little cup of tea or something, spend 15 minutes, you can write your dream down, and then you can enter back into the dream position, and you can close your eyes, and when we do, we start to see colours and shapes, and if you can identify with those colours and shapes and start spinning a narrative around it, wow, it's a room, or it's a tower, or it's a tree. And especially if we've come out of a dream and we remember it. So we're intending going back into this dream. If we can't remember our dream, then we just drift with these images, and they become a lot brighter. A technique we can also use is to, if we put our fists in our eyes and just bring the eyes towards the third eye, and we're looking into this front part of the brain. It's in the front part of the brain where our imagination is, and we can see the same thing. Normally in the back of the brain is connected to the eyes, but in the front lobe, or the prefrontal lobe, then we have the imagination. And so this is what we want to do, to look into our imagination. And if the eyes are sloped towards the third eye, towards the brow, between the eyebrows, then it's a lot easier to see these images. And you just intend to step into it. And it's a very easy technique. And as the herbs come on, then it'll happen very fast. If you can keep awake for 15 minutes or so, and if you practice this, then it becomes very easy. And it's a technique you can use in the day. It's really good to catnap. If you want to lucid dream, catnap. And you can enter into it by using this wild technique.
Great, I think we should cut it now.
Okay, thank you for joining us. I love running Lucid in London. It's a really fun environment, and a lot of people that have attended do have lucid dreams, if not that night, in the next few nights. And I love dreaming myself. I love using it as a place for awareness. So it's bye from me, and
for me. Bye guys, sweet conscious dreams, and we'll be back again soon. Bye.